Shafika Minti Herman and my matrix number is 298694. One of the main market of Bursa Malaysia Securities Berhad is the 7-Eleven Malaysia Holdings Berhad, which is a non-operating investment holding company. 7-Eleven was the company that founded by J.C. Thomson in 1927 as the Saltland Ice Company in Dallas, Texas. This company was first started as an ice vendor that eventually began selling milk, bread and eggs on Sundays and evenings when grocery stores were closed on that time. 7-Eleven is one of the companies that has the business idea to produce products that leads to the satisfaction of their customers as well as increasing their sales. 7-Eleven is the company which known as one of the company that provides a convenient, efficient and pleasant shopping experience to their customers from any convenient locations in commercial and residential area. Besides of offering hot snacks, beverage and other products conveniently to their customers, 7-Eleven also offering other services such as cash withdrawal, reloads of mobile phone, touch and go and bill payment services. From the other view, 7-Eleven also provides pharmaceutical segments for the convenience of their customers. This pharmaceutical segment operates a chain of pharmacies which include retail pharmaceutical, healthcare and personal care products under various brands such as Carrick, Pillhouse and Wellings.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Ain binti Muhammad Yusof and my matric number is 300431. CIMB Bank Berhad is a subsidiary of CIMB Group Holdings. Berhad is one of Malaysia's second largest commercial bank listed on Bursa Malaysia since 1987. It has been primarily operating in consumer, commercial and wholesale banking segments through its three main entities, which is CIMB Bank, CIMB Investment Bank and CIMB Islamic Bank. CIMB Consumer Banking serves individual and small businesses with conventional and Islamic options through accounts, loans, wealth management and credit cards. Commercial banking focuses on SMEs and mid-sized companies, providing a full suite of financial services like credit, cash management, treasury and structured products. They also offer non-financial support to help businesses thrive in a changing environment. Apart from that, CIMB Bank Berhad also offers a comprehensive suite of banking products and services across retail, commercial and wholesale segments. Through online and self-service channels, customers can access personal banking products like credit card, mortgage and auto loans, along with business banking services for SMEs. Additionally, CIMB's wholesale banking arm caters to the specific needs of corporate and institutional customers with a treasury, investment and trade products as well as private banking offerings.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Iliana binti Syamuddin and my matric number is 298752. For my part, I will talk about ratio analysis. This part consists of 4 types of ratios, which is liquidity, activity, profitability and leverage ratio. First of all, I will talk about liquidity ratio. A liquidity ratio is used to determine the company's ability to pay its short-term debt obligation. There are 2 types of ratio under it, which is current ratio and quick ratio. For current ratio, the current ratio of 7-Eleven and CIMB Bank Berhad is below 1.0, which below the industry standard. 7-Eleven's current ratio in 2022 was 0.97, meanwhile the current ratio of CIMB Bank Berhad in 2022 is 0.37. As for quick ratio, the quick ratio of 7-Eleven and CIMB Bank Berhad can be obtained by dividing the quick asset and current liabilities. 7-Eleven's quick ratio in 2022 was 0.97, while the CIMB Bank Berhad's quick ratio was 0.37. Next is activity ratio. Activity ratio is a financial metric used to gauge how efficient a company's operations are. The total asset turnover and account receivable ratio have been chosen to represent this activity ratio. For total asset turnover, it can be obtained by dividing the net sales and average total assets. Total asset turnover of 7-Eleven in 2022 was 1.10 and CIMB Bank Berhad's total asset turnover was 9.78. As for account receivable turnover, it can get by dividing the net sales with average trade receivable. The amount of account receivable turnover in 2022 for 7-Eleven was 6.63 and CIMB Bank Berhad was 5.34. Next, profitability ratio. Profitability ratio is a financial metric used to measure and evaluate the ability of a company to generate income relative to revenue, balance sheet assets, operating costs, and shareholders' equity. Profit margin on sales and return on common shareholders' equity have been chosen to represent this profitability ratio. Profit margin in sales of company can be obtained by dividing the net income and the net sales. In 2022, 7-Eleven has 0.99 of profit margin in sales, while CIMB Bank Berhad has 1.75 profit margin in sales. Besides that, amount of return on common shareholders' equity can be obtained by dividing the values of net income minus preferred dividends with value of average common shareholders' equity. The return on common shareholders' equity of 7-Eleven was 5.75 in 2022. CIMB Bank Berhad has 0.18 of returns on common shareholders' equity in 2022. The last one is leverage ratio. A leverage ratio is any kind of financial ratio that indicates the level of debt incurred by a business entity against several other accounts in its balance sheet, income statement, or cash flow statement. Amount debt to asset can be obtained by dividing the values of total liabilities with total asset. Debt to asset ratio of 7-Eleven in 2022 was 0.91, while CIMB Bank Berhad was 0.92. For debt to equity ratio, the amount can be obtained by dividing the values of total debt with value of total shareholder equity. 7-Eleven of debt to equity ratio in 2022 was 1.83 and value of debt to equity ratio of CIMB Bank Berhad was 0.85.
Comparison between each ratio. First is the current ratio. Current ratio can tell how a company can maximize the current assets on the balance sheet to satisfy its current debt. Current ratio for 7-Eleven in 2022 was 0.97. This indicates that 7-Eleven has enough current assets to be able to cover its current liability. Meanwhile, the CIMB Bank Berhad current ratio in 2022 was 0.37, which suggests that the bank has more current liabilities than the current asset. This means that the bank has more short-term obligation to meet. The second ratio is the quick ratio. The quick ratio is an indicator of the company's ability to instantly use the current asset to settle its current liability. 7-Eleven current ratio is 0.97, while the CIMB Bank is 0.37 in 2022. The higher the ratio result, the better company's liquidity and financial health. This shows that 7-Eleven is more able to meet its short-term obligation than CIMB Bank Berhad. Total asset turnover. The asset turnover ratio is commonly used to indicate how efficiently a company's asset may be used to generate sales. In 2022, CIMB Bank Berhad had the best asset turnover ratio, which was 9.78. This shows that the company is using the asset efficiently, while the 7-Eleven had the worst asset turnover ratio for 2022, which was 1.10. This shows that the company is using the asset inefficiently. Next is account receivable turnover ratio. Is one of the accounting measures that is used to evaluate a company's effectiveness in collecting its receivable or money that their client own. 7-Eleven's account receivable turnover ratio is 6.63, while the CIMB Bank Berhad is 5.34. The lower account receivable turnover ratio indicates that the company is taking a longer time to collect payments from the client, while the higher account receivable turnover ratio means that the company managed to collect their payment quickly. Therefore, 7-Eleven's account receivable turnover is higher than the CIMB Bank, indicate that the CIMB have an efficient credit management and healthy cash flow compared to the CIMB Bank Berhad. Profit margin on sales. The profit margin on sales is the profitability ratio that measures the amount of net income earned and the net sales of a company. 7-Eleven profit margin on sales in 2022 is 0.99, while CIMB Bank Berhad is 1.75. The CIMB Bank Berhad's ratio is higher than 7-Eleven, indicate that the CIMB Bank Berhad managed to keep their revenue constant and lower their expenses. Return on common shareholders' equity. The return on common shareholders' equity ratio is one of the financial metrics that is used to measure a company's capability to generate their profits of equity investor. The 7-Eleven return on common shareholders' equity ratio is 5.75, which is higher than CIMB Bank Berhad company's ratio, which is 0.81. This shows that 7-Eleven company is generating higher profits of equity investor from the net asset investor compared to CIMB Bank Berhad that has a lower ratio of return on common shareholders' equity. Another comparison of ratio between the 7-Eleven and the CIMB Bank Berhad company is the debt to asset ratio. The debt to assets ratio is a financial metric employed to gauge a company's leverage, measuring the proportion of its asset financial debt. Investors typically prefer ratios within the range of 0.3 to 0.6. However, from a purely risk-focused perspective, lower ratios of 0.4 or less indicate a more prudent financial profile and improved ability to secure additional loans. Therefore, based on our research, it can be concluded that 7-Eleven has the better debt ratio, which is 0.91 in 2022 compared to CIMB Bank Berhad when it has the ratio of 0.92 in 2022.
Debt to equity ratio is a leverage ratio that calculates the weight of total debt and financial liabilities against total shareholders' equity. In general, a good performance of debt to equity ratio is anything lower than 1.0. A ratio of 2.0 or higher is usually considered as risky. As for this, 7-Eleven has a ratio that is lower than 2.0. But the company with the best debt to equity ratio is CIMB Bank Berhad when it has the lowest value, which is 0.85 in 2022 compared to 7-Eleven.
Assalamualaikum and hello. My name is Nur Putri Ilaya binti Mufid, number matrix 298600. I want to share about suggestion on how both company can improve their current performance. I have two suggestions for 7-Eleven company. First suggestion is optimizing inventory management. 7-Eleven could enhance its company performance by optimizing inventory management. Inventory optimizations involves maintaining the exact amount of inventory needed to meet demand. By optimizing inventory, logistic costs can be minimized and a common inventory issues like stockouts and overstocking can be avoided. To address this issue, 7-Eleven might consider implementing technology in its inventory management. One possible solution, 7-Eleven can utilize radio frequency identifications, which known as RFID, to streamline inventory tracking. RFID technology uses radio waves to passively detect and identify a tag object. By attaching tags to their inventory, 7-Eleven can leverage RFID to monitor products throughout the supply chains and maintain precise records of inventory removed from its stores. The collected data can be analyzed to optimize inventory levels and reduce occurrence of both understocking and oversupply. The second suggestion for 7-Eleven company is producing numerous of eco-friendly products. Eco-friendly or environmentally friendly is a phrase that refers to a lot of things that does not give any harms in our environment. 7-Eleven company can start to create products that are eco-friendly and can minimize the environmental damage. For instance, they can use recycling plastic materials for any suitable products or using biodegradable packaging, especially when shipping products. This can save a lot of cost for the shipping process. Other than that, customers should be provided with services like paying and receiving their bill electronically without accepting any receipts, which can save costs for papers. Another way to reduce the use of paper is by providing reusable coffee cups. This clearly shows that the use of reusable coffee cups can save the company money. Reusable shopping bags, biodegradable straws, and eco-friendly cleaning products also can help to reduce the damage to our environment. By carrying out this initiative, 7-Eleven company can gain some benefits. Firstly, they can gain more customers that have the same mindset, which is to save the environment. This customer will keep on supporting their businesses and can lead to an improvement for their business performance. Secondly, the company also can cut some expenses by using friendly products. Next, I would like to share 2 suggestions for CIMB Bank Berhad. First, CIMB Bank need to regularly collect and try to access more feedback from their customer. This way is to enable the team to recognize any problems that relate to their system, which may affect the satisfaction for majority of the customer. Through the feedback that has been received and identified, CIMB Bank's team can improve their system smoothness to ensure all the procedures which involves dealing with customer becomes easier and more comprehensive. Last but not least, CIMB Bank Berhad can enhance the digital service. It is for customer convenience, which is multilingual customer support. This suggestion is based on offering multilingual option for digital services. This demonstrates it's able to make the platform accessible to a wider audience. Multilingual customer support can ensure efficient and readily available customer support in multiple languages, since CIMB Bank is widely used from other nations. These suggestions can be used through various channels while continuously improving the digital services.